Hi there and welcome to my channel. Rue's sleeping, so this is going to be a quick one. Today I'm going to be playing with crayons. I don't know if you remember this, guys, from my birthday haul video, but I have two boxes and I want to play around and see what I can do with the Humble crayon. So the first idea came to me by this thing over here. It is a permanent masking medium and it's liquid. However, it is a little bit yellowy, so when it dries a little bit yellowy. So you still have that that yellowness to the whites. So what I wanted to try is to see if by using a white crayon, you can get a similar similar result. And so just melting the white crayon and seeing if you can do the same thing that you will be able to do with a permanent masking medium, but with the Humble crayon. So let's test it out. So I don't know how long this is going to take to melt. I should have started that a long time ago. Oh my goodness. I bet Rue's going to wake up by the time this is melted. Oh no. I guess an added benefit of doing it this way is that it smells really nice because I use this with those little bricks that are for making things smell nice. It smells kind of like laundry, like fresh laundry. All right, and now we'll just let it melt. It's starting to happen, and then once that happens, then we can continue. So we'll check in on this in a little bit. Now, while we wait, there's another thing I wanted to try. And I have 3 different types of paper just to test this out. And my hypothesis is that you might be able to have a better blended crayon if you use something oily on top to kind of blur. Was it blend? I guess blend. So let's test it out, see if it works. Now, I think I'm going to be using this one and this one. I should do like a watermelon theme. Do a watermelon theme. Okay, and I'm just going to start at an easy level. Crayons are so nostalgic. There's like something about working with crayons that is very, I don't know, brings a childlike wonder to mind. So I'm going to be using coconut oil, and the thing about coconut oil is that if you put it in paper, it's gonna seep into the paper. That's gonna happen because it's oil, right? But what I'm trying to find out is whether or not it makes for a fun medium. Oops, sorry. A fun medium to play with. Oh, okay. It kind of dampens it. Is that the word I want to use here? It mixes them nicely. It makes it, let me see. Let's do another test over here. I mean, it is a technique. I don't know how much I will use it, but okay, that's duly noted. It definitely takes some of the pigmentation off, for sure. So if you want to like make it darker, you do have to go with it with a crayon up, like on top of. You do need to go over it with crayons more. However, putting, I don't know if let's test it out. Let me finish one sentence and maybe you'll know what I'm thinking. I don't know if it'll make a difference putting the coconut oil first and then putting the crayon on top, or if it has to be crayon then blend. Oops, sorry, I move you all. Crayon then blend and then crayon on top for that to give this type of result, but it's interesting. Like, I bet, let me see. Come back. Gives a very pastel look. I don't hate it. Now let's do a test of just putting the coconut oil first. And just so you know, this is like a fairly inexpensive piece of paper. I think it's $2.50 GSM. And I got it from like the Dollarama, and it was a pack of... Oh, I just hit myself in the face with this. It was craft paper. So it's not really special paper. So you will see the oil seep through the paper here. I guess it could be a whole technique in itself if you're like puppy fur everywhere. I think I'm gonna start getting all... Alright, there we go. Nobody has time for Q-tips. Makes it transparent. That will be fun though. Can you imagine having like a piece of art but it's kind of translucent? Ooh, okay. Hear me out. Oh, do we have time to do that? No, we don't. Maybe I'll do it in the future. Okay, hear me out. Will it work? Okay. So if you have something like this, and then you put coconut oil, and then you make, I'm gonna make a silhouette here. Okay, this is just like a real quick example, but if I don't get it out of my brain, I'm gonna lose the thought. Okay. Come over here. Okay, and so using something like this on the back, you're gonna be able to see it more. Oh, that would be really fun. Okay, like using like a shadow box. How they call shadow boxes? Or like the frame, the box frames. Is it called box frames? You know what I mean, like the frames that are like thick. So you can put this on top, like at the front, and then you put this on the back, and then you have something glowing through. And you don't necessarily have to do it with crayons. But, oh, that'll be kind of fun. Okay, now I'm excited about doing that. I'll do that later this week. Anyhow, putting the coconut oil first and then doing the crayon, not as good. It doesn't provide a nice I mean, it blends good, but it's smudgy and kind of see-through, and it doesn't, unless you do like everything coconut oil, so you have like this like smooth, waxy, almost waxy. It's not waxy, but it's like slippery surface to do things on. And once you have that, then I guess you can paint the crayons. And it's nice because usually crayons, I mean, if you do the same here, I don't know if you can notice this, but it's very streaky. And this one over here is very a smooth application. It's not as vibrant as in this one over here, but it's nice. I mean, I can see this working for a very specific type of art, because it's very pastel-y. And oh, look at that. That's kind of fun. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this? See? It makes it kind of see-through. Now I wonder, you're thinking, hey, I hope she has something to clean the table afterwards so the rest of her paper doesn't become translucent. Should have thought of that before I start doing this. Didn't. And now we're here. Coming to check on me? Love you. Oops. It's not the best solution. Just roll with it. Oh, you can't really see it in this paper. Maybe. Okay. Let's see if it makes any difference in this one. Okay. Definitely not a good idea with tan paper. This is the parts where I went over the wax part, the crayon base, and it was terrible. Terrible. Do not recommend for tan paper. Makes a very fun, what do you call it? Base? But it makes it for a fun outcome on white paper, but do not recommend it on tan paper. Let's see, you don't even, no, you won't even show up on this one. But I guess the best outcome comes with a white one. Yeah, you can actually feel the coconut oil on this part over here. Okay, so application purposes, I think crayon first and then coconut oil on top just to like diffuse it. Works better if you want to work it that way. However, I think I like it more when you just soak the paper in coconut oil and then try to do things on top. Just it gives it like a more interesting, not texture because it's more flat, but an interesting result. And but you can do a lot of things with light and paper, like playing with light and paper, which I'm actually pretty excited about now that I have stumbled upon this accidental discovery. Fascinating. All right, well, there we have it. I think that's pretty smooth. This one's pretty streaky, but more colorful. This one, not the best if you're trying to just accomplish something like this, but for light play, I think it's pretty fun. Just checking in on this, and it's already pretty melted, pretty melty. I'm gonna wash my hands first because I still have the oiliness of the coconut oil. Okay, I'm back. Right, I'm just gonna use one of these ones. Okay, I don't want to ruin a good brush, so I think I'm gonna use a whatever brush, like a brush that I got from, I don't remember. Anyhow, this whatever brush. So I just want to do a scene with like little butterflies, and then I'll do like a wash on top. Okay, there's a problem right off the bat. It's making it pretty thick once it touches the paper. I did not think of that. What can I do? What can I do? Is this a good idea or a bad idea? Okay. Yeah, why not? Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna put a whole bunch of coconut oil in here. Again, I'm pretty sure it's gonna make it a little bit translucent, but I guess that's gonna make a fun testing test. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? Okay. And just for testing purposes, I'm just gonna use it like this without melting or doing anything to it to see. Was it okay? Maybe I should have done that from the beginning. Way easier. I don't know if you can tell, but you can see it when it's like on, like when the light hits it just right, but otherwise you can't really see the wax there, so that's promising. It's not yellowy. Just gonna mix this. That's gonna make it hopefully creamier. Am I making this up as I go? Definitely, 100%. Can this be disastrous? Possibly. You'll never know until you try. Now I think it's gonna have the same trouble than the other one has. That sorry, you can't read my mind, and you have to explain this out loud. I think it's gonna have the same trouble than before when you put coconut oil on the paper. That is just gonna make it a little bit translucent. Having said that, because of the whiteness of the crayon, I don't think that's gonna be a problem. But also, if it makes it a little bit translucent, wouldn't it be pretty if you put some light behind it and only the parts that have like the wax mixture, the masking medium, I guess, or DIY masking medium, that are the parts that are going to be a bit see-through, so you can shine some parts with lights. So you can make some parts shine with light. Oh my gosh, why am I having so much trouble with English today? Maybe it's because I didn't sleep very well. Okay, I think we're good. Now let's test it out. You can definitely tell where it is because it's making the paper a little bit see-through. Makes it a little more opaque. Is that the word I want to use here? Oh no, it's changing the color for sure. So this is the one with just melted crayon. Was a bad idea. It just makes it very thick. This is just with the crayon as it is. You can barely see it. This is with crayon and coconut oil. And just for testing purposes, I'm just gonna do just the coconut oil just to see what's the difference. Yeah, you can definitely tell right away. But what I want to test about this one is that whether or not when you do a wash on top of it, if it's gonna stain this part of it here or if it's gonna completely avoid it. You know what? I should have used watercolor paper. Oh my gosh, where's my head at today? It's fine. You know what? It's fine. So let's see how well do they work. So again, this one is just the crayon, nothing else. Would you look at that? This is the crayon and the coconut oil. So make it a little bit lighter. This is just the melted crayon. It is kind of lumpy. And this is just the coconut oil. Fascinating. Okay, I kind of want to repeat this on proper paper. Okay, now for testing purposes, we're gonna do all of them and see which one makes sense and which ones are just like a little bit too silly. So I'm gonna start with the proper one. I'm gonna do a beautiful butterfly. There we go. And I'm just gonna mark it what it is. Where is my pencil? Oh, there it is. And then just crayon. Crayon, white crayon, and then we'll do coconut oil. You can definitely see that one. And this one over here is going to be the mix of both. It's very chunky. I think I used a brush that's a little bit too thick compared to the rest of them. I'm just gonna let them rest for a little bit, just so that Betty gets like a good try. I think enough time has passed by, so I'm just gonna soak the paper before I put the color. Well, it has a little color already. Now that it's properly saturated, what? 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 Nah, what? I don't know what to make of this. I mean, feel welcome to draw your own conclusions, but... You can... okay. So right off the bat, the coconut oil, just the coconut oil, you can see through it because it's oil. And of course it's gonna make the paper transparent. That we knew. It's okay. It makes a different, like a darker butterfly. It doesn't quite repel. A little bit, like it repels a little bit, but not a lot. Oh, maybe it does. Okay, maybe it's just like pool on top. It does repel a little bit, but not too much. It more kind of, it changes the actual texture of the paper itself, so it makes indents it. I don't know. As for this one over here, the coconut oil and crayon, it kind of, it repels it, but it holds it on top. But I mean, if you do a little scrubby dub, and this is like already dry, well, dry-ish. I mean, that's a good result. That's actually a pretty darn good result. Okay. Alright, I see you. And see, with just a crayon. I mean, you can see it, but it has, like, the crayon, the problem with the crayon is that it doesn't lay flat, like it's not a flat application. So you have a little bit of like the craggly of the, where the paint went through. And for the Winsor & Newton one, I'm a bit disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, what? What? Like you can't see it, like, and you can even see the, because it still has that waxiness under the paint. You can see where it was applied, but that's crazy, man. Okay, well, there you go. Now we know a really cheap way of making a permanent masking medium or fluid is just putting a white crayon and coconut oil. And just melt it and put it on whichever surface you want it on. Do the wash on top, let it dry, and then just rub a dub. Crazy. I did not see that coming. Okay, maybe, okay. Let's give the Winsor & Newton one more try. I did this one before and it's dried. It's like completely, utterly dry. There's no doubt that it's dry. So let's see. Okay. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit more, like the paint that I just put on top right now. I think enough time has passed. I'm gonna do a rub-a-dub on this part over here. Okay, so just so you know, this is the one that I did before. This is the one that had the crayon and the oil together. This is just a crayon. and that's just the oil. So, and this is the Winsor Newton. Oh, man. Seriously? Nope. I mean, yeah, no, I think that's so silly. That's so silly, but I mean, you live and you learn, right? So I did a test here, and then I thought, you know what? Let's do a test with a proper one, just so you can see the difference. And yeah, that's the proper one and the proper paper and everything. That's crazy. All right, well, now I know. And it doesn't have an oil residue or anything like that. It's not bleeding through. It doesn't make it see-through like just the coconut oil is. It doesn't have the craggliness of the crayon. And it doesn't get the paint stuck on top. That's crazy. Okay, well, maybe if I just rub it real hard. Is it better? Is it? No? Alright, well, we tried. Okay, well, so there we have it. That's the playtime that I wanted to make, that I wanted to do while Rue was having a nap. It gives me things to think about. Crayons are really fun. They have that little nostalgic feeling to them. Putting coconut on crayon, so crayon, coconut oil, makes this diffused pastel-y finish. Putting coconut directly into the paper, it's not a good idea. It makes it transparent, but I bet it's going to be really fun to play with this transparency now, even if it's not with the crayon on top, but like another medium. I guess you can use crayon on top. Crayon on top of coconut oil paper, it makes it a little bit dull. It's not the best finish, to be quite honest. It's not the best finish, but it'll be interesting to play with that. And if you want to make a cheap permanent masking medium, coconut oil plus crayon, great. Just making sure it's gonna be permanent. And I just wanted to do one last test just to know if it's like an actual permanent, because I rubbed it off before just to make sure that the pigments that are on top of it will come off it. But I want to make sure that it can withstand different layers of watercolors or gouache. Actually, I think these ones are gouache, but they're just a gouache wash. That is a tongue twister. A gouache wash. So I'm just gonna let this one dry. Okay, let's give it a go. Huh. What do you know? I am speechless. That's a nice life hack for you right there. Might as well do another layer. See how well it can withstand being layered on top. Now let's try to do a little test. Nothing. Nothing. I mean, I'm giving you a chance, man. I'm giving you a chance and you're letting me down. Nope, I think that part was a little bit wet. Still, so we lifted it up as opposed to. It is interesting. I don't know if you can tell from the angle, but it did become a little bit see-through, so it makes like I think Okay, let me finish this and then I'll give you my thoughts. It's starting to get some of the tint or the color from the wash, but it's still remaining pretty considerably more white than the rest of the things. So all right, I think this is going to be my outro because I've tested it out and then I got curious about something else and then I tested it out. So I think this is going to be it. This is going to be my conclusion. I think that if you're doing something real quick and easy, just use a crayon. It's, if you don't mind the crackliness, it's really, really easy to just sharpen the crayon and make it like a fine tip so you can use it for more details, and then it's going to be hydrophobic, so it's not gonna take as much of the of any washes you do on top. Winsor & Newton permanent masking medium was a bit of a disappointment. I thought this was gonna work better than it did, but it didn't, so womp womp. The coconut oil, it as you can see, it is not working for masking. However, if you see it up against light, it's making it very see-through. So you can have something like a piece of art that it kind of looks the same everywhere, but if you put it up against light, you'll have those like those peekaboo moments, of those little hidden things happening there. Oh, can you see that? See? So I think that could be the start of potentially something fun as well. So you can see it a little bit, but not too much. But it could be like a secret special thing. I don't know how to say it in words. I think it would be fun to play with. And by far the winner with flying colors is coconut oil plus crayon. Just melt the crayon, a white crayon, put some coconut oil in it, and then you have a cheap masking medium, permanent masking medium, because I've used 3 layers, thick layers of wash on top of it, and it still works. I mean, it has a little bit of a tint of the top layer, so I wouldn't I wouldn't do too many of them, or I guess you can reapply in between if you wanted to, but yeah, it works so well. Thank you so much for sticking around and for playing with crayons with me. I hope you find this really helpful. I hope that you like this. And if you did, consider subscribing. I'm still a really tiny channel, but I'm hoping to grow a little bit more and get to do more fun things like this for you and with you. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.